Hey guys, what's up? Welcome back to the channel, and today I'm here for my Chimaira album ranking. So this ranking is just going to be my opinion as usual. So yeah, I don't think this band has any bad albums, but there is one album that I just think is alright for what it is, but we'll get to that here in a bit. But yeah, this band, Chimaira, I first discovered them like 2018, I think it was, and I think they're a very good band, very underrated. They're not one of my favorite bands overall, they're just a band that I kind of like. I guess it's because I'm still not too familiar with all of their music, because I don't really listen to them as much as some other bands, but I still think Chimaira is a really great band. So yeah, with that being said, let's go and get started with ranking their 7 studio albums. So number 7 is their 2013 album, Crown of Phantoms. And yeah, man, I just cannot get into this album at all. I think it's a very repetitive and boring album because lots of the songs just sound like metalcore songs that are just way too similar to each other. But there was one specific song that I thought was the best song on the album, and the only song I cared for on the album, and the song is called Wrapped in Violence. That's the only song I like from Crown of Phantoms, because the rest of the album just sounds the same, and it's just boring to me. It made me want to go to sleep listening to this. That's how boring it was and repetitive. There's just something about this album that I can't get into it that much compared to the rest of Chimaira's discography. So yeah, it has to be in at number 7, Crown of Phantoms from 2013. Not necessarily bad, just repetitive and boring. Number 6 is going to be their 2009 album, The Infection. This is the first Chimaira album that I ever got to get on CD, because I don't have the rest of their albums on CD yet, but this is the first album of theirs that I got on CD, but it wasn't the first material that I've heard from the band. But yeah, I'll get into that later on in the ranking. So this album, it's another one of their albums that I just think is alright for what it is. It's not one of their best albums. It still is pretty good though for what it is, though, regardless of it not being one of my favorites or one of their best, you know. Still a good album though. Got some songs like The Venom Inside, Frozen in Time, Secrets of the Dead, which was one of my favorites on the album. Impending Doom is an okay song, still good though for what it is. Destroy and Dominate was an awesome song, and Try to Survive was also really good. So yeah, this album has some decency to it, so I'll give it some credit there. Just not one of their best though, so it has to come in at number 6. Their 2009 album, The Infection. Number 5 is going to be their 2011 album, The Age of Hell. Now, I think this album is way better than the first 2 albums that I've ranked so far from Chimaira. It's just a really good album here. I know it's not making my top 4, top 3, but I still think it's a very good album. So yeah, you got songs like the title track, The Age of Hell. Clockwork is really good. Time is Running Out. Year of the Snake, awesome song. Beyond the Grave was really good. Trigger Finger was great, and Scapegoat. So yeah, Age of Hell, definitely a strong album all the way through. But either way though, I'm still putting it at 5 because it still isn't one of my favorites, but it is a very good album still. So yeah, The Age of Hell from 2011 comes in at number 5 in my ranking. Number 4 is Resurrection from 2007. And I know this is probably going to be a little controversial because it's not in my top 3. But I still think it's a very good album. Another one That's very strong. This album doesn't really have any filler tracks at all to me. It's just a very great album all the way through, and I would say it's one of the best metal albums of 2007 in general. That's how good it is, despite it missing my top 3. So yeah, you got songs like the title track Resurrection, Worthless was really awesome. Song 6, badass fucking song. One of my favorite Chimaira songs in general. Just an amazing song. I really love it. Really awesome. Yes, it's almost 10 minutes in length, but it's definitely worth it because it's a badass fucking song. So, hell yeah, man. 6, badass song. The Reason to Live was another great song on that album. The Flame was a kick-ass song as well. And It All was amazing. The song Needle was really, really good as well. And then the closing track, Empire, was great. So, yeah, man, Resurrection, definitely a kick-ass album. But it's only coming in at number 4 for me. Still a badass album though, so that's all I gotta say there. And like I said, one of the best metal albums of 2007 in general. Great stuff here from this band. Now we're in the top 3, guys. Number 3. Now, this one might make some people controversial a bit. Again, this might be controversial to some people. That's what I meant to say. But I still think it's a great album. And one of their best. And that is going to be their 2005 self-titled album. Got songs like Nothing Remains. One of their best album openers, if not their best album opener. Awesome song. Inside the Horror was awesome. Salvation, another great song. Comatose, hell yeah, awesome song. Bloodlust was amazing. Pray for All was awesome as hell as well. So, yeah, man. The self-titled Chimaira album is flawless, man. I love it. So, yeah, it's one of my favorites from them. Awesome shit here. Hell yeah, man. Awesome album. Check it out if you're a fan of like metalcore or groove metal, because that's what a lot of Chimaira's music consists of. So yeah, number 3, their 2005 self-titled album. Number 2 is going to be their 2001 album, Passed Out of Existence. This is their only album that is new metal because, like I was just saying, their future albums are more towards groove metal and metalcore. So, yeah, man. Despite this being their only new metal album, it's a very great album. And it's one of my favorites from this band. Awesome stuff. So, yeah, man. This album's just badass. I think it's one of the most underrated new metal albums of all time. It's just so damn good, man. There's not really much to say here. That's how good it is of an album. So yeah, you got songs like Dead Inside, which the band Damage Plan ended up making a song called Save Me, and it just sounds very similar to Dead Inside. Both songs are great, don't get me wrong. I just probably like Dead Inside more though. But yeah, both of those songs sound very similar, but of course, Chimaira's Dead Inside is 3 years older. We're not talking about Damage Plan here, but I just had to bring that up because a lot of people never brought that up before. Severed was another great song on this album. The title track was really awesome. Split was awesome. Sphere, really great song again. Forced Life was really good. And then the song Options. No, I was not really a big fan of the closing track, Jade, because it was just long for no reason, to be honest. So yeah, I could not get into the closing track on this album because near the end, you had some whispering shit, and it was very creepy to me. Very eerie and creepy. The song Jade, especially near the ending when it had all that whispering and shit. So yeah, definitely a creepy song for the ending. So yeah, number 2, Pass Out of Existence, their 2001 album. Great stuff, guys, from this band. Check it out if you're into new metal, because it is a very underrated album. So number 1, My number one Chimaira album is going to be The Impossibility of Reason. This is their 2003 album. And yeah, man, there was one of the songs on this album where I first discovered this band back in like 2018. I can't remember what song it is. But yeah, man, this is their best album in my opinion. And some people would probably agree with me. So yeah, I think it's one of the best metal albums of 2003. Just some really great stuff here all the way through. But if I had to list off some favorites, those would be the songs Colonization, the title track, Power Trip. Yes, Power Trip is one of their shortest songs throughout their discography, but still an awesome song. Down Again was really great. Pure Hatred was a kick-ass song. I like that one. One of my favorites on the album. Crawl had more clean vocals, but still an awesome song. Stig Murder was awesome. Eyes of a Criminal was great. And the song Overlooked. So yeah, this album also has an epic closing track. But this is actually my favorite closing track of any Chimaira album, because this is just one that isn't too long for no reason, because it's got some badass riffs and drumming. So yeah, Chimaira done great ending off this album with an epic song compared to their album Pass Out of Existence. Actually don't mind the title track on this album, because it's just one that isn't too long for no reason and that drives me bored. So yeah, man, this album comes in at number 1. I fucking love it. It's my favorite album from Chimaira. So yeah, guys, with that being said, let me know what y'all think of Chimaira and all that good shit. And yeah, peace.